Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to Man's Advice Forum. I am the Man, and in this video, I just want to talk about the topic of people leaving California, which seems to be a hot topic these days. Like a lot of people seem to be wanting to leave California. There's a lot of YouTube videos about this subject these days, and then there's famous people announcing that they're leaving California or they've left California, like Joe Rogan. I think he was already in Texas, or he moved from California to Texas, and same with Elon Musk. And this video was actually inspired by a video I saw today by Ben Shapiro by the Daily Wire, who announced that he's leaving California for Tennessee. And that's pretty much what I did about 5 years ago. I left California to move to the South. And I'll tell you, like, why I left. The main reason I left California back then 5 years ago is just I couldn't even find a job. I did everything what people asked me to do to be successful, which is study hard and go to a prestigious college. And then once I did that, I was just stuck with one dead-end job after another dead-end job. And then I was just, I didn't even have the support of my friends and family, and my family would harass me about getting a real job. And, it's not like I didn't want money. It's just, I couldn't get a job. Like, how's that my fault if I'm trying my best? And so because I just didn't have like support of my friends and family, I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna move to somewhere else. I'll move to a lower cost of living state. I'll get the same things that I could get back in California, maybe in lower quantities, and I'll be okay, whatever. And I just decided to leave because it was just like there's nothing here for me. And not only that, there was like warnings that the state was going to run out of water within a few years, and so I got like so freaked out that I just decided to leave and that was one of the main reasons I left. And so now looking back, now seeing that how everybody else wants to leave California, maybe I could see something that most other people couldn't, or maybe most other people were in this weird trance where even as like their house is burning, they think everything's okay. But now, like, after the crisis that's happening this year, they kind of the rot at the core of California and its people were revealed. And I remember thinking, like, when I did leave California, how like one of the main reasons I left, because I thought like California is pretty much, you take the worst part of modern society, multiply it by 100, and that's what California is. Because you have people who live there, and the majority of people who live there thinking that all they have to do is think about themselves. Their consequences have no actions. I mean, their actions have absolutely no consequences, and they can do whatever they want, and it'll be okay. And that's the kind of politicians they elect too. So that's why the politicians that they've elected in places like San Francisco and Los Angeles have turned what was once a beautiful place into a dump. And that's why in places like San Francisco, you pay millions of dollars for a shack, and then the moment you leave that shack, you find feces and drug needles everywhere, right? And in places like Los Angeles, it used to be that the homeless were only like enclosed in one area, maybe like Skid Row. But now, because of mismanagement by the government and the politicians, that's why you find like tent cities everywhere, because no one can afford to live there anymore. A large density area where no one can afford to live there, and that's why you have like all the tent cities. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of shenanigans happening in those tent cities too. And not only that, those tent cities are in places like Orange County now, just because even places like Orange County are have been mismanaged and are hard to live. And it's just kind of like the character of the people of California nowadays, where they just don't. They just only think about themselves. They think their consequences have no actions, and then they elect the same type of people who are a reflection of the citizens there, and they do stupid shit and mismanage the place in the ground, and so it's just like any sort of corruption, it's just kind of rot, there's a rot within the core, and eventually that foundation, that core is going to break, but you don't really realize it until it's too late. And I think that's what really happened this year, where the whole situation really revealed to most people, hey, the core is rotting, right? And so that's why people are wanting to leave. Whereas in other states, because they didn't have that type of mentality, like places, the red states didn't really have that type of mentality. That's why no one's trying to flee those red states. Everyone's trying to flee the blue states. Everyone's trying to flee like California, New York, I don't know, maybe like New Jersey or Connecticut. I don't know, but since I'm from Southern California, that's like what I know, and I totally understand why people are trying to flee there, because it sucks. It really, really, really sucks, and I have no idea, like even like 20 years ago, why anyone would live in LA. But now that the situation has gotten worse, now that you can't even like step outside your home just to go to work, I have no idea why anyone would actually like want to live there. But yeah, so it's my thoughts on the subject. Yeah, so just to summarize, the reason why I left California is just because the people there suck. They only think about themselves, and they don't understand their consequences have actions. And so during times of crisis, this really exposes how strong your local communities, it really shows you how strong is the fabric of your local community. In times of crisis, will people take care of each other and help each other out? Or are people just going to bail on you because they realize that nobody's going to help each other out? And that's pretty much what's happened in California. People are bailing because everybody realized that it's just every man for himself and nobody gives a fuck about each other. Maybe the whole United States is like that, but it's way more apparent in California. So if you have any thoughts, comments, leave them below, and I'll see you guys next time.